My name is Kasamun Nasalu. I'm a PhD candidate at Georgia Tech in the School of Biological Sciences. And I mainly do research on membrane proteins that have medical relevance, trying to determine what they look like.
My name is Dr. Nick Sturm, and I'm a third-year Britain postdoctoral fellow in the Writing and Communication program at Georgia Tech. I teach English classes focused on poetry and multimodal communication.
Yeah, so I've been here at Georgia Tech. This is my fourth year, and I've taught a variety of classes both within the first year composition sequence and as a technical writing teacher.
So I did 2 of my degrees at Georgia Tech, including my doctorate, and finished that around 2003. I've been teaching here on and off ever since, and written several books on Southern history, U.S. history, culture, labor, things we cover in the classes I teach.
Usually, first years experience problems, I think, at a couple of points in the semester. A lot of times, that like 5th, 6th week in can be really hard for them because we have a lot of, midterms.
Yeah, for the most part, not too much. I think most students come to Tech pretty well prepared. One thing I have noticed in teaching the large survey classes, History 2111 and 2112, some students are taken aback by the fact that there's only 3 or 4 grades, and so each exam is such high stakes.
Okay, I think in my experience would be, getting a schedule that works for them. Most people are, just coming out of high school, or they may be transferring from, other institutions. And Tech is a very big campus, and a lot is going on.
I don't think struggles would be the word I would use, but there is first-year students at Tech have, I think like most students entering college, have expectations about what an English class will look like based on their experiences in high school. And what's really surprising for students is that our English classes at Tech, while they do, they're similar in some ways to traditional English classes, but they're really more about communication.
So I usually have at least maybe a couple of people for each section who just really have trouble getting to class on time. Part of it might be because I tend to teach more morning sections. I tend to teach classes more at 8 or 9 in the morning. So for my commuter students, sometimes it'll be traffic. So they're coming in from another part of the Atlanta metro area, and there's, sometimes traffic that they just aren't anticipating or they can't do anything about.
I haven't really noticed that, one thing, you've noticed yourself since you've been in the chess, that usually only about 1/3 of the classes are really in them, or sometimes even 1/4. It's a little closer, a little higher when the exams get closer. But then again, a lot of students are taking the class asynchronously.
I don't know. So most of the time, I think the students here do a good job, getting to class, because it's extremely difficult to do well at Tech if you don't attend the classes.
I don't think so. I haven't really honestly cared much if students were late to meetings, because everyone is in their own homes or in different places, and so there's a lot of pressure on everybody.
I think that's happened before, yeah, especially last year when we made the switch fully over to Canvas and students weren't quite used to it yet.
Yeah, if it's your first time, I think, I can definitely see that could be a big issue. For instance, with the class that with the 1040 class, people are having a hard time, like they didn't know where to submit assignments.
That happens during normal semesters, so I can't say that the frequency of it has changed.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not really something that my students talk to me about as much. When I have student athletes, sometimes they'll talk to me about their schedules and, what's going on there. But I haven't really had students talk to me too much about trying to find jobs or internships or and things like that.
I really very rarely do students ever say anything to me about that. I really have not much to base on.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't have as much access to that as maybe other faculty members would. I'm not sure what faculty members would know more about that, though, since that's more personal in students' lives.
Yeah, that happens occasionally in the fall. I mean, it doesn't happen in the summer because they can't take that many hours. But there too, I think hopefully that's the point of an advisor. It's kind of the advisor's job to make sure the students don't overload themselves.
Not that I know of, but I, of course, don't assume anything about what students are going through unless it's communicated to me directly.
An interesting idea. I think so it'd be kind of like a life management app, like a student life management app. So it seems like you'd want to balance the aspect of the app being a portal to say, like, here's how you go to counseling services, here's how you get to the financial aid office, and then like more like pragmatic, like here's the bus. It's the bus is on this side of campus now. You're going to be late if you wait for the bus. You're better off walking.
It could be, although overall, again, I don't think a whole lot of students have a problem with that.
Yes. I think working your individual schedule would likely be the one thing that would have the greatest impact in terms of your success as a student for all of us. Knowing what kind of schedule will work for us.
Yeah, I can't imagine, this is like maybe cynical, but I cannot imagine an institution the size of Georgia Tech making it possible to aggregate all that information in one place. Right, and that is kind of cynical, but the bureaucracies of higher education make it so challenging to have access to clear information, especially information that changes like it is right now so quickly. You would need the most magical team and the most you would need the best possible relationship with the administration. I don't know what it would take.
For first-year students, if you ever get in a jam and you're even thinking about plagiarizing, don't do it. Just email your professor and ask for an extension. Like, probably 90% of us who teach core classes are going to be fine giving you an extension or two.
Now, I think overall the summer freshman program, which I guess they call it Ignite now, I didn't even know that. It's recent development, but I mean, it seems to work pretty well. I think it helps students get acclimated.
The terrible thing, I know this sounds like really privileged and horrible, but at Georgia Tech, they actually don't do that bad of a job. You know what I mean? Like at other institutions could be even more horrific in their inability to organize information.
Yeah, so I think you should see this as a journey. People come and you are here to get an education, right? So that should be your number one focus, but also make it your goal, to grow and develop as a person. Not only the things that you learn in the classroom, but also outside of the classroom, the social skills that you develop, the personal growth that you have as a person, not just as a student or as an expert in some sort of body of knowledge. So you want to make that your goal. During your time here, you'll definitely know your thing by the time you get out, but also cultivate other aspects of your life here as a student. So that would be my big advice.